Namaskar, good evening. I'm Mridula Ujjwal. I work with Excellent Technologies as Director, Learning and Development. I'm a life coach, I'm a performance coach, and I'm a team coach as well. I've spent more than 12,000 hours coaching one on one people and in non transactional conversations. During these conversations, I understood and learned how an organization culture can be transformed by just one on one conversations with people and creating a safe space for them. Today, I'm going to be talking about what we did, how we did, and what we got out of it, and what can happen for you as well. Well, I'm presenting for the first time in RubalCon and I have only 20 minutes. So I'll urge that all the questions and suggestions if you have for me, we can take our questions to my LinkedIn and Twitter handle. I'll be sharing my LinkedIn and Twitter handle at the last slide. Thank you. So let's begin. I'll switch off my video for better bandwidth. Lovely. Good. Well, Excellent is a 100% remote company with a distributed team. One of the many challenges for a remote team is low people engagement, difficulty in trust building, and to create a shared culture of openness. With a dream to create a culture where people are happy, open, kind to themselves and to others as well, and enthusiastic to learn, grow, and contribute, Accelerant brought in a life coach 6 years back in the year 2015. With a life coach, we started with monthly one on ones between the coach and people. Now, these one on ones were designed to be non transactional in nature, creating a safe space, bringing zero judgment, empathy, and total acceptance for who the people are and not what they're expected to be. But people were hesitant to talk or share. They didn't even open up initially. There were trust issues. They even thought that coach is an extension of HR and anything we say can be held against them. To resolve this issue, the hesitation of the people, we created a safe space for them by declaring that coach is not a part of HR. Also, coach is not a part of any decision making related to appraisals or promotions or even firing people. Coaches only owned the development of the coaches in a very non transactional and yet highly empowering way. In one on one conversations, we realized that people were hesitant to speak up. There was fear of backlash, of being ridiculed, not taken seriously, being judged, and probably loss of opportunity also. Now, this data actually helped us having conversations to look at what kind of KPIs do we have, and we work towards making KPIs which are individual dependent and not dependent on other people's feedback or opinions. This took away the feeling that I cannot say anything to my manager or I have to butter up my manager. This fear got away. Delinking KPIs was a major step in creating a safe space. We also realized that psychological safety is crucial to create an open culture. Although openness, kindness, and enthusiasm are our core values, what the coach identified is the need for having these open conversations around these values. One on one coaching conversations became an opportunity to look at these values from people's eyes. So, what do openness means to them? How do they practice kindness? What is enthusiasm for them? How do these values look like in a day to day actions? These conversations opened up a lot about where these people feel unsafe, what would they want to see, what would they like to do or even act upon, how do they want to express these values, and the alignment with organizational take of these values. And slowly during one-on-one conversations, the coach started bringing in unique exercises for trust building, for practicing empathy, about how to be open, how to be courageous, letting go of fear, opening up to who they are, discovering what is really working and not working for them, and what is the real issue behind what's on the surface. Now, these conversations allowed people to be vulnerable, a space where they could really let go of the pressure, burden, pain, overwhelm without feeling being judged. Now, what the coach was being a postman. The coach would not take people's concerns, feedbacks, messages across to anybody. Coach put their foot down there. Rather, they empowered people and they helped people to learn so that they can take their matters to the people concerned. This approach actually helped people to learn to say no, to own up, to be more accountable, to learn to renegotiate already made agreements or what they were going to do in future, and to operate from a very high integrity. As a next step in coaching conversations, we started talking about goal setting and how a clearly defined SMART goal, a thoughtful plan, and consistency in actions can help people learn and grow. Basically, coaching opens the door to different possibilities for people and help them overcome the limitations and challenges. And that's what we did in our next step. To be honest, some people were very proactive and immediately jumped to the idea of goal setting and started working on it. But some people were not interested. And they were just focused around the job at the hand and with their own valid reasons, of course. Coaching conversations were tailor made for these people's needs, and we started helping people either with their goal achieving process or helping people remove their barriers and take up learning opportunities slowly. Goals worked upon were technical and functional skills, leadership, behavioral traits, and sometimes aligning to the organizational values also. People started creating their individual development plans with the help of their mentors, managers, and coaches, with a monthly review in coaching calls about progress or where and why they are stuck. Team coaches also worked with teams to create a safe space within team dynamics where people can share feedback openly with each other and their managers. We worked on cohesiveness, ownership, resolving conflicts, and high performance. Feedbacks and recognitions have always been a very big part of excellent culture, but we saw that yet there were certain gaps and we were not there where we wanted to be, or the kind of culture we wanted with that openness towards receiving, giving feedback. So coaches started addressing people's concerns around giving, receiving, and asking for feedback, and also about how people approach recognition. So, by now, since we have established a safe space, a zero judgment in conversations, people actually opened up about their real concerns. When we asked, how do you feel when you receive a hard feedback? Or what is the toughest part of giving a hard feedback to someone? And what stops you from asking feedback for yourself? Or maybe, how do you feel about recognitions? People poured their hearts out and asked for guidance. Some of the concerns that came out were, what if I offend the other person? What if they're defensive or maybe they attack to me by the words? My last manager was not very open to feedback. I don't want to give any feedback to my manager. You know what? I don't have the right vocabulary. Sometimes my words mean something, but I want to say something else. I've messed up. I don't want to do this. They also mentioned that, I might burst out in anger or frustration while sharing feedback. There is so much, I'm so filled in, I'm like a ticking bomb. They were also worried about how this will impact their relationship with that person because they may have to work with the same person in next team or next project. So why should I spoil it? Let it be. Someone even asked that, can you please share my feedback on my behalf? I don't want to do this. I don't want the other person to know that this is who I am. They were worried about hurting the other person also while sharing feedback. Someone said that, I don't have time for all this. The day it blows up, we'll see then. I don't want to do it now. It is not important. They also talked about that I don't know how to write a constructive feedback. Is it even a learnable skill, or people just know it, or they have good English, or they've studied at good places, so that's why they know how to do this? I come from a rural background, I don't know. Interestingly, when we talk to people about asking feedback, that then people say, why should I ask feedback? When there is something, they will tell me on their own. Why should I invite trouble? Now, are you suggesting that I go ahead and highlight my mistake by asking for feedback? I'm not going to do this. Some of them openly and very authentically even said that, what, I don't know what to ask. I don't know what questions to ask. Yes, there are questions in template, but sometimes I get very minimal feedback out of it when I use the ready-made templates, and I don't know how to create. Maybe my English is not good. Maybe my expression is not good. We also bring in conversations about recognition. As I said, that recognition is a big part of excellence culture. Some people were very enthusiastic about sharing recognition, and some people said, I don't feel like giving a recognition. I feel obligated to recognize someone when the other person recognizes me. When I'm recognizing someone, then it becomes very difficult for me to give a hard feedback to them. I feel like a hypocrite. And you know what? If again and again I share the recognition to the other person, I think it takes the thrill away. It loses its meaning. Someone even asked that why do I recognize people? It is their job. They're supposed to do their job. Why should I recognize someone? And someone said that, yeah, I will recognize when something big happens. These are small, small things. Why should I do that? And you know what? And then they brought in a lot of human psychology thing that when something is given freely or easily to people, people don't value it. Basically, a lot of it came from fear of unknown. Many assumptions, their own past experiences, either with Accelerant or maybe from their past organizations where they worked, from their school, from their colleges, from their upbringing. So much came out. Also, there a lot come out because people were carrying their own wounds and they did not know how to heal themselves. Their own acquired patterns while they were growing up, their own safety nets, which over a period of time have become their own limiting beliefs, and they're limiting them now. So with all these conversations, when people opened up authentically, coaches started helping people to understand and own up their own emotions, because a lot of emotions floating around behind the feedback and recognition barrier. We also help people uncover their fears, their own assumptions about people, about situations, about data, and about themselves, about failure, about mistakes, about feedbacks. People had a very negative connotation about feedbacks. Their own biases, their own judgments, how others' biases and judgments have affected them over a period of time, where they're still carrying the pain, and also their unwillingness to be vulnerable when people were asked to ask for feedback. For them, it was a matter of being vulnerable and they didn't want to put their guards down or their barriers down. Interestingly, while we work with these people around these feedbacks and recognition, feedback in Accelerant became an act of kindness, and people found their own happiness while recognizing, acknowledging, and validating other people. Just with the act of giving, they found a lot of happiness. Today, we have 3 performance coaches with a collective experience of 25,000 hours of coaching. Each person has a performance coach, from a fresher to the CEO in the organization. Every person has a safe space to be who they are. They are accepted for that and not judged, fully supported, guided, mentored, and taken care of. So, what did this all created? Coaching in Accelerant is among the top 3 benefits that why people want to join Accelerant that got created. When people felt safe, they opened up, they started sharing more constructive feedback with others and did not worry about offending them. There were more rapport building, there was more trust. Just in time feedback started happening easily and they increased. People experienced increased happiness while recognizing others' efforts. They felt comfortable sharing their challenges, pains, wins, even talked before wanting to quit. They admitted their mistakes on their own and connected more. And all this was not just happening between the people and coaches. With the coaching conversations, one on one, that safe space which got created, all this started happening between peers to peers, managers and peers, and other people also. That was a high impact of what coaching caused. And as I'm talking on this slide, this created higher people engagement, happy and satisfied people. Relationship between peers became more open, more comfortable and trusting. And as a result, we had very happy and satisfied customers. And all it takes is one conversation at a time, and it is possible. Thank you. I see we have 5 minutes remaining and we can have questions. And I have my LinkedIn and Twitter handle here, and I invite you to have your questions there as well. I think I should stop sharing now. Yeah. Hey. Hey.
Thank you so much, Madhura, for such an amazing story. Yeah, let's give people a few minutes in case somebody wants to ask any questions.
Do you have any question, Perina?
All I can say is that I used to work in Accelerant and I vouch for everything. It was like a huge difference on my performance and my day-to-day, and I just loved that about the company. So thank you again, Mirdula, for all the help that you provided during my time.
Thank you, and I miss
Accelerant.
our conversations, Perina. Also, we'll get a
Alright.
recording link of this later on, just to ask.
Yes, of course.
Okay.
They'll probably be released in, I don't know, a few days on the official YouTube channel of the
Okay.
event.
A good number of people who are not attending from my organization, they were excited. I said, I'll get back the link to you.
Sure, of course.
Yes.
All right. Well, if there are not any more questions, we can close the session for today. Thank you, everyone, for joining.
Thank you,
Thank
Anne.
you, July.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Bye.